It's the time to get down.
Yeah, man.
Well,
like that.
I'm telling you, Vic, the news today, I think the thing that everybody's talking about first is Joran Vandersloot. This is the young man who's the accused killer of Natalie Holloway and who's been in Peru. So supposedly, was a lot of evidence caught him involved there in Peru, and they caught him going in. They have video that shows him going into the hotel room and then coming out later by himself. Then later on he tells the staff, "Oh, don't disturb my girl," who's later found to be bludgeoned to death in the room. This is the same man who's involved in the disappearance of Natalie Holloway.
Wow.
So now supposedly he has confessed. He has confessed to the killing of the Peruvian woman.
Now, that's interesting. That's interesting, man. So, and Mario, just so I can just stay with your story here, because I know you have most of the information. We're talking about information that was still really privy to what we call the authorities back then.
Well, that's the whole thing. Really rich person, parents looking all out for him. This man may be a serial killer. And really not so much out of maybe premeditation, Vic, but a man who just really cannot control himself and his anger.
Right.
So it's to be said, but I still say, what about his parents, that came to bat for him? I know parents do, but they obstructed justice.
True.
So anyway, you'll get more on this, but supposedly he has charged. I was trying to find you. I thought there was a piece that we might be able to find about him on this. But hey, Vic, let's show him something, Vic.
What you want to show?
Hey, you guys, let's show you guys how we find our news.
And I like that, too, because it's going to help them. And just to back in on that story.
How we find our news.
The reason why we got Vandersloot is because, allegedly, he also has made his mark somewhere else. Was it in South America where they're questioning where he may have... There's some crimes or some crimes.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like this man may have been traveling around, just, having a good old time, partying with people. And when girls piss him off, he chokes them out or kills them or date rapes them or something.
Wow.
So we're going to find out. But supposedly, I'm searching. This is how we find our stuff on YouTube. Take a look at it. We go to YouTube, we search this, and we see what's available. Now, most of the stuff that you're seeing here is actually coming from the major networks.
True.
And so because of the bullying tactics and all that kind of stuff, we really can't really show you that. Even though there are people like Al Jazeera who are there. Now take a look at you guys, because other people obviously care about this too. Like here's one called Dearest Joran Vandersloot.
I knew it.
Now, and you wonder what they have to say. And you wonder where they're coming from. This is from Mr. Dutyhead. Mr. Dutyhead. See, this is what Mr. Dutyhead, because everybody has an opinion. And so Dutyhead, wonderful name,
What up, kids? Yes, it's me, Mr. Dutyhead. And I'm really angry. I'm super pissed off.
Mr. Duty.
Have you heard about this shit?
Yes.
The kid,
we
the
have.
guy, the man, the
Yes.
whatever, suspected of killing Natalie Holloway.
We heard of him.
In Aruba.
Wonderful
like
boombox you got
ago.
back there, Mr. Duty.
That guy, Johan Vandersloot, right? The guy who got away with killing Natalie Holloway, even though it was fucking obvious that he did it. He got away with it, and now today he's accused of killing a 21-year-old woman in Peru.
Thank you, Mr. Duties. Wonderful insight so far.
Shocking! Isn't it? I remember making a goddamn video years ago after this clown threw his beverage drink in the face of a reporter during an interview. I can't remember what it was, maybe CNN or whatever.
Rap duty.
I made a video saying, all we need to know in regards to this man's guilt is to be found in his eyes I say, just look at those goddamn eyes.
Just look. No.
Eyes of a lunatic.
Ah!
A stone cold killer.
He's a killer.
Pathological liar. And all this shit. And I went on and on and on and on and on about this clown's obvious guilt.
Uh-huh.
Unbelievable, man. And I gotta say one last thing.
What duty?
This girl, all right, and I don't care what anybody thinks about what I'm about to say.
Uh-oh.
If she knew she was in a hotel room where they found her, and the room was under guess whose name? Yes,
Vandersloot.
Surprise, surprise. Johan Vandersloot's name. That's whose room the name was in. But anyway, as I was saying, if this young girl did not,
yes,
I repeat, did not know that his name was Johan Vandersloot, and she was hanging out with him under the like maybe he told her his name was John Smith or whatever, or
maybe he called her just older and his name was Sluty.
She's never heard of. She was under the impression that's who she was with. Okay, I feel endless sympathy for not only her but her family and all her loved ones.
Yes, we do.
But if this chick knew that she was hanging out with Johan Vandersloot, well, guess what? Guess what I have?
What?
Zero fucking sympathy. If she knew she was hanging out with this.
Oh, you mean, okay, that's the point.
You fucking deserved what you got.
Well, no, they don't.
That's my
no duty head. But that's the thing.
But
People
again,
are saying, this is what people are saying, Vic, and we don't want to. Some people are saying that, like OJ, like other famous figures, there are people who are partying with these people,
Right.
knowing who they are. And some people are saying, did she know that this was Joran Vandersloot that she was partying with? Because supposedly he hasn't been making efforts to hide his identity at all.
Yeah, I mean, you can know something, but man, you ever warn somebody, you used this example before. You said you got a friend, you know who I'm talking about. And you said,
I know, you said your friend look kind of shaky.
Your girls will ask you about this guy when we're at the functions, and you would warn them and say, he's this type of guy. Does that make any difference? So it's not like the guy's going to tell her, oh, I'm a killer, or, I'm this mass killer, or whatever the case may be. So, okay, now, what history does he have prior to, of course, her unfortunate and untimely death? They don't have anything so far, right?
No.
So,
but he ain't been able to hide it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point to me is you can always do that Monday morning quarterback and say, what if, but man, you and I and many others have been in places where we say, I know. Now, when you look back at all the functions and parties we were involved in, what percentage of crazy people who committed crimes were in the room?
Crazy folks. Of course, none of you all have ever been at a party with crazy folks either, I'm sure. And none of you have ever been at a party where there was a leafy green substance perhaps being smoked.
Yeah.
Or other substances perhaps being inserted in other body orifices.
Right.
So there's some wild shiznit that goes out there.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is. But okay, go ahead.
But you know what? How about this, Vic?
Yep.
If you met a girl, and while you were talking to her, it came up while you were sitting at the bar, you're sitting there, she's wonderful, fine, you're talking about her.
Right.
And while you're talking, up comes a news thing, and it shows how she's on trial for her husband, ex-husband, who's been hacked into tiny little pieces. And so you look up at the TV, and then you turn back to her, she's gorgeous. She says, that's not actually what happened. She's fine, too. She goes, yeah, they say I hacked them into pieces. But did they bother to get my side of this?